Elder Melder, I've come for something.
I don't have any attack, Jules, I swear!
No, not that. You know something.
What are you talking about?
Stop playing dumb or I'll melt you, you crazy old woman.
I'm crazy, you're the one having an argument with yourself.
Whoa. Hello, my fellow hunters. Today we have a trifecta of terrificness to talk about. Firstly then, let's address why I threatened to drown a tiny old woman. Well, it's because she is confirming the next festival. They said they wanted to do a spring, summer, autumn, and winter one, and indeed we're getting the Summer Twilight Festival, as seen by the Twilight firework, very much akin to the blossom one of spring, that we can't quite touch yet, but we can look. It gives me some very strong vibes of
I don't need it.
Can't wait to see the gathering hall decorated, and we're getting some fun armor sets this time around. A diving suit, some more butterfly stuff, a very relaxed looking palico, so yeah, maybe we'll build up to a new monster. I mean, if we got Orochi Kirin, that would certainly be
very cool. Cool.
In a number of ways. Based on the spring firework appearing just within a few weeks of the spring festival, I would prepare yourself for this month to act as a lovely backdrop to the Arch-Temperedness. And talking of the Arch-Temperedness, well,
now for a public service announcement. What you are about to see is leak of the Gamma armor sets for both Kirin and Vaal Hazak. Take it with a grain of salt, though leaks of this type have not been wrong before.
So what makes this immediately believable, outside of how hard it would be to fake footage like this, is that the exact same thing happened with the Dante armor set, with the Star-Lord armor set. People go into the game files, have a little snoop around, and they get them added to their list before, well, they should. They're not technically supposed to, but well, obviously that doesn't stop them. So starting then with the Kirin one, I have no idea if the visuals are correct. It doesn't look immediately that different to me. Outside of the pulsing glow, which I ideally hope is just the standard for Arch-Tempered, because that looks gorgeous. But the stats themselves then are rather interesting. So, of course, we have Alpha Armor, Beta Armor, and then Gamma Armor. What seems to be the immediate trend, if indeed these are real, which, let's be honest, I mean, come on, look at it. This is happening. Not to mention how actually interesting, fair, and game diversifying this stat and slot distribution is. I like the theme that is happening, and that theme is Alpha, less slots, most skills, Beta, more slots, less skills, Gamma, even less skills and more slots. So it's essentially the core skills that monster gives you, but really stripped to its bare bones and then slotified. Then the other main advantage of Gamma Armor is where those skills are distributed is completely changed. For example, the Beta Kirin Waste is your Blight Resistance and all of the level 1 slots, whereas now in the Gamma, it's 2 level 1 slots, but you get Marathon Runner 2, which previously was on the headpiece. So it's letting you wear the armor in question, but mixing it around so you can slot it better into your existing builds to get the set that you've dreamed of. It also means we can stop using Diablos Waste, because no one likes that piece of shit armor.
The fuck?
So obviously, as you can see with them slowly going by in the background, it's very cool. They just give a load more options, much less skills, much more slots, mixing around where they are, and then Bob's your uncle, options are suddenly broadened. And if this theme continues, we'll start to actually see some of the older armor sets be a lot more useful. And that's the big one for me. Now, I'm not going to go down every piece, talk about each stat that's on it. I want to save a full armor review for when it's actually in game, when the entire video is dedicated to it, because I do think these open up some seriously cool options, especially Vaal Hazak, because the armor looks incredible, but a lot of the pieces aren't great, whereas with this, we can get his sweet set bonus, which, yeah, health augment kinda makes redundant, but it's still fun to regen that health and just look badass, and this time we're not really sacrificing much for it. Element attack seems to be accentuated here. You can get 5 of it from both Kirin and Vaal, Thunder and Dragon respectively, so it does seem to be more emphasizing along that vein, which again makes sense, because Elemental does need shoring up outside of the bow and jewel blades, so I kinda hope that they really do look at the Elemental cap. I just don't know why, right? If they simply had a 4-set bonus, sure, it could come in decoration form like Elementless, that was simply element cap off, so you could always use 5 times element attack in your set, right? That would just be the equivalent of shove the element jewel into your set and then use all of it. I don't think that would be horrendously imbalanced, and yeah, even if you don't make it a jewel, just make it something's 4-set bonus. That just seems really obvious to me. Obviously, a number crunch might make that ridiculous, but that's at least where my feelings lie. But the main cool thing about all of this is if every monster eventually gets an arch-tempered form, it opens up lots of older armors to be used. Like, I love Odogaron visually, but it just falls short when you're trying to actually have a really effective endgame set. So if we got an arch-tempered Odogaron, which would be a hilarious fight, by the way, but we then have ourselves Gamma Odogaron armor, lots of slots, we get a few of the core skills like Crit Eye, which is super solid, you can start to mix in some proper aesthetically solid armor that still gives you the bang for your buck without having to lean too heavily on the just make everything layered. So yeah, I am really liking, if these are true, what they project they're doing with Gamma, increasing armor diversity both skill-wise and visually, giving you more options, and we should essentially see a lot more dynamic choices available when it comes to the sets that you're building. And the thing is, right, arch-tempered monsters have been said that they're going to get new moves. They're not just going to be health tanks that one-shot by looking in your general direction. Apart from Arch-tempered Kirin, who obviously is just, you know, he is... I'm so scared, okay? I'm so scared. But either way, they're probably gonna get that sweet, sweet health and damage buff, but they're getting new moves, maybe some speed, which immediately is exciting because that is a fresh, hot new challenge, even if it is on event rotation and not permanently available, which I think is a little bit of a shame, but the rewards they're gonna offer is above and beyond anything that exists tempered, and lore-wise, for a tempered monster to happen, it has to survive hunts, encounters, fights with other monsters, so an arch-tempered is going to be a tempered monster that then goes on to do that even more, and the part of it that develops most seemingly is its brain, its cunning, its intelligence, because it works out better strategies and better ways to use its biological adaptations. It's kinda deviant-like without being as extreme, but the main thing that it's like, and the main thing that kinda gets me thinking here is it not a little bit G-ranky-like? Like in G-rank, the step up is quite noticeable. Monsters get new moves, they're faster, they hit harder, they have new health. Essentially, the jump from tempered to arch-tempered very much mirrors the jump from high rank to G rank, and it does make me be like, huh, do they plan on G ranking? Maybe actually not. At least not until it's a whole new game. Probably quite later down the line. Definitely not within even a year's time span as some sort of DLC, because they seem to just be consistently, incrementally adding harder and harder content, and there's no doubt in my mind, given Tempered Kirin's already quite high place amongst the Monster Hunter difficulty curve as a series, that Arch-Tempered is going to be easily up there with the very hardest the games have ever offered out of any of them, at least on Kirin. Vaal Hazak still I can't take seriously. We'll see what they give him, okay? But oh, and by the way, no miasma resistance on Vaal Hazak Gamma. I mean, that's what we all want, because the boots look so cool. And that right there, that is exciting. I can use Vaal Hazak boots without crippling my set and look amazing. The fact that Gamma armor can make you say that sentence, yeah, that again, I wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, so if this is indeed the case, we're just going to get incrementally harder and harder content, I can't help but feel that does put a spanner in the whole G-rank cog. And the thing is, I don't really mind it. Monster Hunter Now with World is the most game as a service Monster Hunter that's ever happened. It's the first one that's truly possible for that to happen. What they can change and add in proper chunky updates, as we've been seeing, is huge, way and above what we've ever got in the past. It blows it out the water. So, to me, even if it never is officially called G-Rank, I mean, it kind of is pseudo G-Rank, right? If they slowly just arch-temper every monster, then every monster has a G-Rank difficulty equivalent. It's just called arch-tempered. It even comes with its new armor set, like the G-Rank armor sets that you get, which again are even more powerful versions of that monster's stuff. That's kind of my thoughts on it, and it doesn't worry me that much, because I think it's still a really cool way to do it. It feels like the new world is evolving, things are changing, the monsters are learning and growing harder as we research them. Well, we are finding new things as we research. We've discovered arch-tempered monsters through whatever some such way they introduce them, and I kind of like that. The flow of time and the livingness of the world feels maintained and represented by the addition of updates that are painted as new discoveries. I like the way that the DLCs weave into the narrative of what we're actually doing here in the new world. I think it's a really clever way to do it, but I definitely could be just reading too much into it there. That's entirely possible, but yeah, that's kind of what the thoughts I wanted to put out. Would you be happy? Assuming Arch-Tempered is good, assuming it feels fair, it's not just complete tanks that one-shot, they get proper new moves, as it seems they will, and are you okay with a sort of pseudo G-Rank, or would you still prefer an official one? Because the thing is, if we get this for all of them, they add a new map in a DLC, which I have no doubt they'll do, new monsters to populate it, and maybe a little bit of a storyline to go along with it. That, again, is essentially a G-Rank expansion. I'm kind of now, thanks to this, thinking that we're going to get G-Rank, it's just going to be piecemeal, and it's going to happen so slowly we don't even realize it's hit us and not bear the name. Though if we keep this up in like a year, who's excited to fight
Lord King, Master Arch, Triple Tempered, Super Saiyan, Ultra Instinct, 1000% Smash, Sage Mode, Gear 4, Kirin of Ultra Destruction Level 7.
Look, it does seem like we're just gonna keep getting more powerful sounding titles as the difficulty slowly bumps up and reaches that upper echelon level that us veteran hunters, and I'm sure a lot of you new to Monster Hunter as well, crave. You know, you want a monster to kick your ass. We're all masochists at heart. We want to eat as much dirt as possible as we bleed sweat, and as you bleed sweat, as you slowly struggle and surmount this impossible beast, and you conquer it, plant your flag as the truest hunter. The Sapphire Star, it really is the juice of this game, but food for thought. My name has been Josh. Like if you've enjoyed my ramblings today, Arch-Tempered is not far away, so look forward to that content. I can't wait for Cotton to Cart like all of the times, and subscribe for more. A good boy.
Rage gaming with the video float.
But that's all that's really relevant at the mo, but I'm still gonna leave this up so you patrons know that I love you even though the outro's no longer that kind of relevant. But the new one's being worked on and it's gonna be a truly badass song, and don't worry, I won't be doing any rapping on it. I'm gonna go now. This was shit.